Mabuhay everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Joy Barcoma from the Philippines. I am a passionate woman, an advocate, and a woman of the earth. I have been involved heavily on disaster resiliency, and I have been working towards progress in the Philippines, having been able to work in 2 tech companies here in our country. We have helped develop a critical communications app that alerts people in times of disaster. I'm also part of the marketing team that innovated and developed and invented a mobile command and control vehicle here in the Philippines that was recognized by DOST's Handa Pilipinas. I'm now working in the city government as a consultant, championing social and civic and economic works, and of course, bridging progress and the future of the people in Bacoor. Thank you.
And now, a question from our judges.
Mabuhay, Miss Philippines. Okay. In your opinion, what is the most pressing environmental challenges facing our country today?
Thank you very much for that. The most pressing environmental issue that our country faces today is climate action. Climate and action of the Philippines. We are part of the global south. And it's sad to say that we actually contribute to less than 1% of the total global emissions in the world. And yet, we always get hit the hardest during typhoons and calamities. And so with that, we should move forward by recognizing that there is a need to call for accountability from our government officials, to craft stronger policies to protect our environment, to encourage people to speak out, and to call for accountability from global north countries to provide aids to Philippines and to other global south countries. Because then again, they produce the most global emissions, and yet we receive the most damage in times of calamities. And I so think that it is not well deserved by the Philippines to go through that, knowing that we have been exerting efforts to move forward with a society that champions sustainability.
And now, a question from our student audience.
Magandang araw, Miss Philippines! I am Samantha Nebrida, and I'm a student of the grade 10 community. So my question for you today, as a voice for the environment, if you were given the opportunity to share a world-changing piece of advice with people who are unaware of the environmental issues our planet is facing today, what would your message be?
Thank you. Simple message should be, the earth that we live now is not something that we inherited from the past, but rather something that we borrow from the future. And so it is our shared responsibility to care for our shared home. And one thing that we can always remember is to fight climate change is to not work against nature. It is to work for nature by producing nature-based solutions to our country, introducing green technologies, economical solutions that can move everybody towards progress without compromising our environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Philippines, for your meaningful insight. We will surely remember your words at heart. Thank you.
We now have time for another question from our judges.
Hi, Miss Philippines. I can sense that you're a very empowered woman. So my question would be, what is the single biggest misconception people have about the role of beauty queen in today's society? And how would being Miss Earth prove that misconception wrong?
Thank you. Beauty queens are often put into a pedestal, showing to everybody that we are face of a brand. But more than being the face of the brand and representation of a certain pageant, we should also be the voice of the people. And I would like to break norms by showing to everybody that you can always speak up for the people, regardless if you have a crown or not. That you should not be afraid to lose your crown just to be able to gain popularity or to gain the likes and approval of other people. You should be the one to always be at the forefront of a fight. Fight for the people, fight for justice, and fight for the environment. If you want to be a beauty queen, you should break misconceptions when it comes to becoming just a symbol of beauty. You should be someone who is not just a symbol of beauty, but also a symbol of progress and be a woman of strength. Thank you.
Thank you, Philippines.
Namaste everyone. Mabuhay Philippines. I'm Komal Choudhary, Miss Earth India 2025. Professionally, I'm a nutritionist and a karate athlete. Throughout my journey, I've learned that strength not only comes from physical training, but also from the food that we eat. And through my advocacy, I want to promote sustainable food and the millet movement. Because millets, these are the ancient Indian supergrains that require very less water and chemical fertilizers to grow. They can sustain in harsh climatic conditions. Through Miss Earth, I want to take this Indian secret globally because I believe that true empowerment comes from sharing and not competing. Thank you so much.
We now welcome a question from our judges.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Regarding sustainable living, you mentioned it a while ago. This is my question. As Miss Earth, how would you encourage people to adopt a more sustainable lifestyle in a world driven by convenience?
So in today's world, the food that we eat has drastically changed. We are more into processed food right now. So through this platform at Miss Earth, I would first want to create awareness about what sustainable food is. And the millet movement is definitely will be very helpful because this is not known globally. People yet don't know what are millets, so creating awareness and then teaching people that you should take one step at a time and have mindful food at a time. Thank you.
And now, a question from our student audience.
Good day, Miss Earth India. My name is Athena. It's so nice meeting you today. You're so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to ask you, as a Miss Earth candidate, you persistently seek ways and methods to resolve environmental issues, especially in your country, India. What is the most alarming environmental issue for you, and what movements or programs can you raise to solve and reduce the environmental issues in your country?
Thank you so much for the question. It's a really beautiful question. So in India, the biggest problem we face is floods. And it has created a lot of impact on the agriculture. It is threatening the food security. So I believe when we bring millets back in our daily diet, it is very cost effective for the farmers. It can sustain harsh climatic conditions and it also enriches the soil. So I believe the millet movement would be the best option in India and globally to resolve all our problems. Thank you so much.
That will be all. Thank you very much.
And now, one more question from our judges.
Right. Good morning, Miss India.
Good morning.
You mentioned about sustainability earlier. So, sustainability is said to be the language of modern day development. However, we find many people still arguing that sustainability is still a privilege. What are your thoughts on this statement?
So I believe sustainability has always been there around us. We've just become a little ignorant towards it. So going back to our roots and learning what has always been there would be a very helpful choice. So creating awareness is very important in today's day and life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, India. We now have time for one more question.
In relation to your advocacy, if you could speak to someone struggling to live sustainably, what advice would you give?
So to give an advice, I would say sustainability will only be possible if you take small steps at a time. Yeah, small steps at a time. Only then you will be able to follow it. So consistency and discipline would be the key to follow sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, India.